Hey guys, it's Eva and welcome back to my channel. This is me keeping an obligation, posting 2 weeks in a row for like always my 13 subscribers. I love you guys. Just like all 13 of you. I like to make fun of myself because I'm like, oh my god, I need to film these videos. Like I'm a fucking like Tana Mojo's bitch. I'm like, sis, you got 13 subscribers. But like, I don't know, I'm fucking being stupid. Okay, so today's video is about how I became a liberal. That's what you guys voted for on Instagram. It surprised me. I expected you guys to vote for the failing at sports story time, but you didn't. So I'm gonna do that one next week because I'm not interesting enough to have that many story times. So the 2 of you who voted for that one, don't be disappointed. But yeah, becoming a liberal. So let's start from BB Eva. I was born in New York and both my parents are pretty darn socially liberal. And then I moved to Tennessee in the Bible Belt when I was 7 years old. And things just kind of started changing at that point. I was at an age where I really wanted to fit in. So, you know, most kids, not most, but I feel like a lot of kids were like having fun being young, being a kid. But I, like, by the age of like 7 was in that like middle school mindset of like, I need to fit in. It kind of sucks. Like that took up a long period of my life, but that's not what we're talking about. So I moved to the Bible Belt, and one of the first things I heard someone say that I had to ask my mom to explain to me was using gay as an insult, because in New York, gay was never used as an insult. Some people were just gay and that was okay. And so I came home, I was like, Mom, why is gay an insult? And she explained to me that it's because people use it incorrectly who aren't educated about sexualities, and they use it as an insult to homosexual people, so don't say it. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was kind of that. I also started to be more modest around this time, just like noticing the conservativeness around me and trying to be more that. So I got into church around 6th grade and I became a kids camp counselor, which is a whole story in itself. And I was going to church Sunday, Wednesday. If they had any extra stuff going on, I was there. And I was, as my mom called me at the time, a holy roller. And some of my beliefs in this time that birth control was wrong because all sex should be to procreate. I never thought that being gay was wrong. I think I thought that it was, wait, no, I'm remembering. In middle school, I pretended to think it was wrong, but I never truly did. But I was like, oh yeah. But I think I always, as a Christian, thought that it was kind of a sin, but like anything else, and that there was really nothing wrong with it. But I definitely wasn't like the activist I am today. And I was, you know, in a very Hollister era apostle phase. I had huge bows and I was just like sister Christian, you know, you dig? But then I got older and I got into high school and people's mindsets weren't as conservative as my middle school was. And I started to like listen to people and be like, oh wow, that kind of makes sense. More so on the liberal side. And then I started to question the reasons I was going to church, because at the time I had a big crush on this kid that went to church, and soon I realized that that's why I was going to church. And then, you know, things I did with him, and I really had to like examine my faith. And I went from someone who was like front row, like hands raised, Jesus, like no sex before marriage, love the sinner, hate the sin, like very that. And then just going in my junior year, I got this book where I read about lots of different kinds of religions. I realized this is like a political video and not a religious video, but for me they tie together. And it just really opened up my mind, and I realized that I didn't believe the Bible, that I didn't think that birth control was bad or that abortion was bad. I went from being very hardcore pro-life to very pro-choice because I got facts and I understood that it is the individual's choice in their body and their life. And then I got into theater my junior year and started talking about these things, and I just became really, really passionate about LGBTQ plus rights. I had a friend who in high school they identified as a homosexual man. Now they identify as a transgender woman and they are beautiful. She's doing amazing things. But really, I think they were my first LGBTQ plus friend. And it really just brought out this passion in me that I wasn't aware of. Unfortunately, our friendship didn't last because it wasn't the healthiest nor the nicest. But it was a really good learning tool for me. Going into my junior year was also when I got into drag. Not myself in drag, but like RuPaul's Drag Race, which I think honestly saved my life. Like, RuPaul's Drag Race taught me how to love yourself, because she says at the end of every single episode, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? And you know, they promote body positivity and like love is love and just all these great values that align much more with my heart than what the Bible has to teach. And I started to read the Bible around this time, and it seemed like God just got mad and blew up the world, and that didn't make any sense to me. So then my senior year, it was the Trump Hillary Clinton election, and that was when I really got into politics, because I was one of the only liberals. And so people would like go at me, like ask me like why I hated Trump, and I had to be educated. I had to be prepared for that answer. I did research, so I wasn't giving emotion-based answers. So when someone asked me, hey, why don't you like Trump? I would say, well, I don't like the fact that he made fun of a disabled reporter. There's a video of it. I don't like the fact that he thinks that rape jokes are okay. There's a video of that. Instead of just being like, he's mean, he's ugly, like real things that he did. Like, I don't agree with his mindset on climate change. I don't agree with his mindset on same-sex marriage. Like,
in a second, I say that Trump is incorrect and morally wrong. And while I personally think that his morals don't make sense for me, I give like a whole spiel about how people think the other side is immoral, but it's really just a different way of thinking. I do think Trump is a bit of an exception of that, but I don't want to post a video where I say one thing and then say another. So, different word choice. I think that his morals are not the best, and I don't like the character choices he makes, you know? Instead of being like, he's incorrect, which is what I'm about to say. But yeah, that's all. That's the spiel. I hope you guys enjoy.
his morals are incorrect, and I don't think he's a good human. And I had to understand why people didn't like Hillary. And it was more than just liberal versus conservative. It was that she had done some things that were pretty messed up. And I became a big Bernie supporter during this time, of course. My own team, the Democrats, fucked him up. Which even, like, I have doubts about calling myself a Democrat. Heavily doubts because of that. Because I hate what they did to Bernie, but that's... But yeah, and then the more I talked to people who were conservative, the more I realized I left that lifestyle for a good reason, and that's not who I am, that I care about a woman's right to choose, that I care about same-sex equality, that I care, transgender issues also were really big when people were asking me about my beliefs and having to argue, or not having, but like trying my best to educate people on my point of view and understand other people's points of view. So I had to become really educated on trans issues as a cis female. And it just blows my mind that people can't let people live their most authentic life. And just because person A didn't experience it doesn't mean that it's not real for person B, and people just don't seem to get that. So this video is full of tangents. I feel like this video is gonna be shit. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was my senior year. And then my freshman year, I started the Gender Equality Club at my school. And I've been really dedicated to that since. I went to a women's march last year. I went to March for Our Lives last year. I plan on doing that and more this year. I've just went from someone who took the Bible blindly to fit in, and then I researched and I reevaluated my heart, and my heart just aligns more with liberal values, you know? There's like a quiz that you can take, and it shows your core values. And this is the main difference between conservatives and liberals, and why we just don't seem to get each other is because we each think that each other is being immoral. But that's not it. Our morals are just different. As a liberal, my morals are equality, love, freedom, self-expression. They're not patriotism. They're not loyalty as much. They're not traditionalism. And those are things that people on the more conservative side have a complete right to value. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong. That's something I really wish that people understood, is their political opinions, honestly. And they don't make someone, in general, a good or bad person. You know, if someone thinks that gay people are trash, I'm gonna think that person's trash. But that's not because they're conservative, that's because they have a very specific point of view that I think is disrespectful, uneducated, and gross. But I also have many liberal humans, no, of course I have liberal humans I have many conservative humans that I love and I cherish and I learn from them. And just because I think that my opinion is right doesn't mean that others aren't valid in their own way. It's, I think, a pagan belief system, or I can't think about the word. This quote is from paganism, I'm pretty sure. It's, "And it harm none, do what you will." And that's really what I feel about politics, you know? I'm really, really, really passionate about harming none, which is why I'm a liberal. But I respect that other people don't have to have that opinion, and as long as their opinion harms none, I still love them. I'm a big intersectional feminist. This is me coming out to the world because my family doesn't know for the most part. I'm bisexual. I am a cisgendered Caucasian bisexual feminist female, and that's me. And your identity is just as fucking valid. And that's why I became a liberal, because I want people to understand that they are valid, that they matter, that they're not just some check mark to patriotism, that their individual experience is of value. And yeah, so I hope this video made somewhat sense. I will see you guys next week with a more funny video about talking about how I feel at sports. And yeah, I hope that you guys all have a beautiful, blessed, #blessed, no, but just a great week. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.